Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. I am super excited to bring the most fabulous guest with me. He's super famous, actually. I always say that all the time. I don't know that he likes that I call him super famous. He's like a celebrity. I'm like hobnobbing with celebrities, but he's like a TikTok celebrity. So I am introducing again, which, by the way, if you watch my TikToks and if you watch my podcast and listen to them, I talk about Gelman all the time. I'm actually bringing Gelman on with me, but he has a real name. It's not Gelman. His name is Josh. So please help me welcome Josh. Woo! And Josh is super, super fabulous because he is TikTok famous, like I mentioned a minute ago, and because you have like, what, a majillion followers. Anyway, so if you love cruising, which I'm sure you do at this point because you're listening to this podcast, go find Josh on TikTok because his name is...
Josh Cruises.
Because he does. Not as much as he wants to because he works for me now, and I totally rely on him. But... But we try to get him on board as much as we possibly can, right?
Right.
We do. Anyway, so today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about pre and post accommodations before and after your cruise, how you're getting there, what you're doing before your cruise, where you're staying, all of it. We're going to cover it.
We are, which is going to be super exciting. Is it, though? I don't know. This is like the least exciting one. Just
but
kidding.
It's got to happen.
It does got to happen. And it's super, like, interesting because I think people won't know a lot of the things that we talk about. So... With that being said, we are actually located in the Orlando area. So the Brightline train just opened up recently, and we had the privilege of taking it actually a couple times. I've taken it a couple times. You just took it once?
Yeah,
so far?
once.
And so we just took it down for the last cruise that we were on, and we were both in premium.
Ooh.
But there are other options. But we talked about that fact that, you know, premium's great.
It is.
But the price isn't the best. So know that. Yeah. So the premium's up there. What did we pay? It was like...
It's $150 each way, but then I've seen it as high as like $220, $250 each way. Yeah,
Oh,
so it's climbing in price.
Oh, jeez. I got to be honest. I mean, no offense to you, Brightline, but I'm not sure that $220 each way is worth.
No, I don't think so.
It's worth it. So,
The price is expensive, but it is a really nice experience.
Yes, I agree with that. So we do love it. I will say I've done it twice now, going down to Miami. It helps a lot because then you can work, you can get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. No, that's not it. You can get up and stand up and walk around. Obviously, you're not stuck in traffic, which is nice.
Wi-Fi,
yes,
snacks,
drinks. In the premium. Oh my gosh. Yeah, snacks, drinks, alcohol if you need it. Sometimes you do. But there's also a premium lounge before. So you can hang out there in the premium lounge, right? And that also has snacks and drinks. Actually, they had really good food in there.
They did, yeah.
It was like hot stuff.
It was like,
yeah.
elaborate.
Yeah, they had eggs and like bacon and like all kinds of stuff because we've gone every time we go is in the morning. So yeah, the food's been pretty good actually. Yeah. So the premium lounge is great. We've taken it from Orlando to Miami. There's a couple of stops in between. There's actually two different itineraries, and I want to say two, there could be more, but there's one that's just like one stop shorter. I don't know if you noticed that. There's one extra stop sometimes, so just be aware of that when you're going down. If you don't want to stop that extra time, it makes it a little bit shorter. But like I said, Orlando to Miami, and also you can take it from Fort Lauderdale. So if you fly into Fort Lauderdale, you can take it from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, which is super quick.
Yeah.
Or you can just Uber. Either one.
The train is cool.
The train is cool and quick, honestly.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, like super quick. So, and I don't know how much it is though from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. I mean, people do it, so it must not be that expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better that way than to Uber. I don't know.
I wonder.
I know, right? But it does drop you off. So it drops you off like almost midtown Miami, or mid-city, not town, mid-city, but like 6 minutes from the port.
Yeah, it's really quick.
Yeah, super quick. So I do highly suggest that with the premium, you also get Uber. You get an Uber ride, but you have to be with how many miles?
I think it's 5 miles, so that covers the port, but before the port, I don't know where you're coming from.
Yeah. So for us, we live a bit further from the starting point, so the Uber does not cover, so you do have to pay for it if you are going to Uber over there. But they also have a parking lot right there that you can park at. Josh actually tried.
Yes, we should talk about this.
Josh actually tried an off-site We're laughing because it's sort of an inside joke. I don't like to schlep luggage, do all those things. And so last minute, I was like, Josh, will you drive me home? Because he drove to the to the train station. He's like, yeah, but so I parked off site. And I was like, how far off site? And he's like, it's not going to be bad. Anyways, tell the story.
So we're coming from Orlando, so this would apply to you if you're taking the train from Orlando. But I parked off-site. I was like, let me save a few bucks. It was like half the price. So I was like, let me save some money. And I parked off-site parking at Wally Park. So that was the company. That was the name of it. Brightline actually offered a deal with them.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
why I was like, let me use them.
Oh, yeah. That's a good plan.
But it was the shuttle takes quite long.
Oh my gosh, it was so long.
And they pack it full of everyone.
And we stopped it, yeah.
You have to stop at every terminal because the Brightline station is at the airport in Orlando. So it's not quick and it is not seamless and it is not easy.
And I'm not a schlepper. So Josh was like, he just kept looking at me. And I was hangry at this point because we talked about this before that unfortunately on our ride, the train actually did hit somebody, which is super, super sad. And we were paused for 3 hours or 2 hours?
2, 3, somewhere in there.
Yeah. And so we were paused for a very long time. And so then by the time we got into Orlando, I was done.
Ready to leave.
I was done. And then I was like, crap. And I'd said to you, we should have just taken an Uber over to your car. But we didn't think it was going to be that long. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, saved Josh some money, but.
At what cost?
So true. You also didn't know you were going to have to deal with me afterwards. Anyways, normally I'm good. Like, I'm usually okay with that stuff, especially if it saves you a decent amount of money. But, oh, man, after that long trip and I was hangry, it was done. I was like, up here. It was not good. Anyways, so you can do that. But there is a parking spot right there by the terminal. So if you live in Orlando, it's super easy. But know that you're adding that on the cost of your trip, obviously.
Yep.
I have also flown into Miami from here, but it's so risky, I think. But it's nice because of the fact that if they do cancel your flight, you can drive down. So one time I put my husband on a flight because he was like, I am not driving. So you think I'm like crazy and high maintenance. He said that to me once. And I was like, fine, I'm putting you on a flight because I wanted to be on. That was a cruise I had to be on. And so I was like, I have to be on this cruise. So I'm driving. And so I put him on a flight. Well, wouldn't you know that freaking flight got canceled? Yeah. And so he ended up driving with us. So that's one of the things. I mean, it's nice about the fact, obviously, living here, we can just make that quick change. But yeah, it was crazy.
And that's why we always recommend flying in a day
early, which is very true. Yeah. So if you are flying from other spots, we do recommend always flying in a day early because of the fact that you just never know. Summer, we work with storms. So that's going to delay you because of storms. And storms are usually in the afternoon. So that's when most flights tend to arrive unless you're, on the East Coast. But so always fly in the day before. And we have a great hotel for you.
Yeah, we do. That's segueing into our next
topic. Although, wait, let me back up really quickly. In terms of luggage, this is the one key that I want to tell you that we learned with Brightline. With the premium, you actually have luggage included, so you don't have to pay any extra or anything like that, but they don't account for it. So we rolled up that same, not what Josh came later, but so me and Kelly and I rolled up and we're like, do with our luggage. And you could see the look on this guy's face. Douglas was his name. It like went, because he saw, I had 2 bags, Kelly had 2 bags, and he was like, oh boy, these two are going to give me a hard time. So we walked up and we're like, hey, we were here to check our luggage. And he's like, yeah, there's no more room. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he was like, there's no more room. So they run out of luggage room. So make sure that you really, if you know you're bringing luggage and you don't want to schlep it around, make sure that you
let them know
you're coming with luggage. We did not know this. So now we have 4 bags for the 2 of us. And I look at Douglas and I was like, Douglas, you got to be joking, my friend. I am not schlepping this luggage around. And he was like, yes, you are. So luckily he was wonderful. So in Brightline's defense, he was like, let me help you. He took us through security. He put it on the belt because you do have to push it through the belt. He put it on the belt and, then brought us over to the bar and gave us free drinks, which was super sweet because
nice,
I
yeah.
know to make up for the fact that I was like, I'm sorry, what? But then the hard part was there's this only tiny little luggage area that you're putting all your luggage in. And I was up there rearranging that stuff like the luggage man that I am, apparently, because that's what you do when you have 4 pieces of luggage and everyone's just like, here's my luggage. So I rearranged the whole thing to fit all the luggage in. I was like taking people's luggage.
You went from no schlepping to full service schlepping.
That is so true. I did go from no schlepping to full service. I should have started taking tips, people, for moving your luggage. So that's a huge thing that you should know if you take the Brightline.
Mm-hmm. And then this next thing on the list, we have a list of agenda. I've seen this comment on our Facebook page. She runs a Facebook page.
Yep.
Plug it.
Virgin Voyages, Cruise Tips and Deals. Join us.
Yes, so find her there with all the tips and deals. But I've seen this posted and commented a lot. People talking about the porters at the port. Should you tip them? They wanted a tip. I thought Virgin was no tips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the porters at the port, outside the port taking your luggage, they are not Virgin employees. So they are the only people who might push or you want to give an extra tip.
Yeah.
Tips are included on Virgin, so don't worry about that on board. But the porters outside the port are not Virgin employees, so they may push you for a tip to take your luggage.
Yeah, they do. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They're super sweet, though.
They
I
are
mean,
nice,
let's be honest. If you've cruised before, you know you're tipping your porter. You should. I mean, they're lugging those luggage around. You should. I mean, I'm not saying give them $20.
Yeah.
I'm saying, give them a couple of dollars, some $5, whatever it may be, whatever you're comfortable with. But I mean, listen, if you're schlepping my very, very, very heavy luggage, you're getting a $20 bill. That's what's happening because my stuff weighs a ton. But anyways, so yeah, tip your porters, like you said. I think it's a great comment because I think that is a little confusing just because of Virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the hotel. So if you fly in the night before or you want to stay somewhere the night before, one of our favorite hotels that we actually have a deal with is the IV Hotel. We giggle about the name of it because we don't really know if that's truly the name.
Nope.
We just kind of...
Eve, Y-V-E,
Yeah.
whatever. It's spelled Y-V-E.
Yeah, it is spelled Y-V-E Hotel if you're looking it up. So a couple things. I'm very, very honest with all of my clients and with you guys. I like the hotel. I will tell you that I do like a very nice hotel. But I think this one serves a purpose. We have both stayed there several times, actually. I wouldn't say that it's the most up-to-date, greatest hotel on the planet.
No.
But it's clean.
It is clean.
And it's a boutique hotel, so you have to remember that.
Yep.
Super boutique, and it's affordable. And I think it's great because of the fact that it's right across from the port.
Yeah.
Where the location is. The location is phenomenal. And I don't know. I think it's great.
I think it's great too, especially for the price and the location combined. All of that, it is amazing.
Yeah. It's funny. I have had clients say to me, I can't believe you stay there. I actually had a client say that to me and I was like, okay, I don't always stay at like intercontinental places. I am smart a little bit about my money. I don't always stay in Mega Rockstar. I do that for special occasions. Not really. I do Mega Rockstar more than anything. But anyways, I do try to be reasonable with my money, and I do feel that this is a good, reasonable spot because of the fact location, first and foremost, like we said, very close to the port, but right next door is Drunk Ross.
Drunk Ross.
We call it Drunk Ross because can't tell you how many times we've been in there feeling no pain whatsoever and looking for things to buy. But cool part about it is it's a Ross, and if you have forgotten your underwear or a belt or those random weird things that you're like, oh, I forgot to pack that, Ross is going to have it, which is so cool.
Right next door.
It's literally right next door. The other cool thing is CVS is right there. So if you forgot your shampoo, your toothbrush, your toothpaste, all those things that, that you're like, that is also right there. So which is nice. And if you want to grab a little chips and dip, just as what we do, which is what we do, you can do that as well at CVS. So yeah, that's right there. Also, Bayside is directly across the street. We've spent some time there.
A lot of time there. Lots of restaurants. There are a few shops, mostly restaurants, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
And we like the, what is it called?
Black Market.
Black Market.
Yeah.
We do like Black Market. It's just a bar, basic bar food, but I'd say it's also relatively affordable for Miami. The food's good. Atmosphere is good.
It's actually a chain. Did you know that? There's another
did
one,
not
I think.
know.
Yeah, I think there's one in Brickell or something like that. So it's actually a chain, but it's really good.
Yeah.
When we go there, majority of the time.
Yeah.
Bar food. And then what else? There's also a Vicky's over there, Victoria's Secrets, in case you did really forget your underwear and need something. There's a Victoria's. There's another chain store in Bayside. I can't think of the name of it, but I can't think of what it is. I shouldn't say not the name of it. I can't think of what it is, but there was Victoria's Secrets, which is obviously a chain store. And there's a couple of mom and pop stores over there too as well. There is a restaurant in the hotel. So if you got there late and were exhausted and just wanted to be at the hotel, there definitely is. There's also a bar there as well. There is no pool, so I will tell you that if you were planning on chilling at the pool, that is not happening at the IV. Again, basic hotel, great place to lay your head and then get on the cruise. And they will offer a late checkout, and they usually do that for our clients. Yeah. So we have a link in the Virgin Voyages Cruise Tips and Deals page for discount. We get like 10% off, plus a couple of other doodads
waived amenity
with it.
fee.
Yeah, waived amenity fee and all those things. So, which is really nice.
Yeah. And they do also have a shuttle. So if you're not driving or whatnot, I think currently it's less than $10 per person. Don't quote us on that, but it's around that price so you can get an idea. And they will have a shuttle that will take you to the port. Yeah.
Which I like the IV. And then if you want to be more upscale, of course, the Intercontinental is right diagonal-ish across the street.
It's down the street, yeah.
Yeah, not too far. Also very close to Bayside, also very close to the port. I have yet to stay there. I'm actually staying there tonight, which I'm very excited about, to try something a little bit more bougie and my speed a tiny bit, so I don't have to schlep stuff anymore. I can just give it to everyone else. But I'm sure it's wonderful. But the price point is pretty high. Like it's probably $500 to $600 a night. Sometimes I would assume might be a little less sometimes. But there's another hotel. I stayed at a Marriott not too far from the port a couple years ago that was really nice. So if you have Marriott points and that's your thing, there's one super close to the port as well that I highly suggest. And then there's a Holiday Inn across from the port.
I've heard people recommend the Holiday Inn too, yeah.
I used to recommend the Holiday Inn, but then I sent the agents there, and they did not like it. I know.
Were some of the ones that tried the IV?
Yeah.
Did they like the IV?
Yeah, they like the IV.
Okay, so the IV is better than the Holiday Inn,
I know. So who knows? I mean, maybe the Holiday Inn got a zhuzh. I don't know. But apparently prior to that, if they did get a zhuzh, it was not good. So, but I do know people stay there. Again, I feel like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're super bougie, listen, more power to you. I love you. We'd be like best friends. Then know that the IV is probably not for you, and you should do like the Marriott Intercontinental. There's a couple of other ones over there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. But if you just need a place to lay your head and are totally easy, with whatever you're looking for, the IV is great.
Yeah.
So that is our hotels.
Yes.
And the Bayside, like we talked about, Bayside Marketplace is great. So know that actually Bayside Marketplace, which being so close to the airport, to the port, you can take a shuttle there. So if you get in, say you live on the East Coast and you took a flight down super early in the morning, which we don't suggest, but hey, if you did it, you nailed it. Don't do it again. You can drop your luggage off starting at
9 a.m.
And then they can go to
Bayside Market.
Yep. And there's actually a place called Bacon Bitch.
There is that place there.
I had to say that. You can have breakfast there if you want to. So we've never seen it because we actually happen to be at Bayside Marketplace always at night, and it's totally closed at night. So, but I have had friends that went there and they ate there, and I would say they thought the food was good. I think. Good. Oh gosh. I feel like if anything's called Bacon Bitch, they better have some good bacon.
Right.
Bitch. So you can drop your stuff off at 9 a.m. and then go to Bayside Marketplace if you want to. I wouldn't say it's a whole day event. I'm going to be completely honest with you. You'll probably get through it and be like, okay, now what do we do? So I would, if you wanted to go see South Beach, those kind of things, something a little bit further away before you got on board. Boarding time, as you know, starts around 1:30. And so hopefully you have an early boarding time. But if you don't, then I would say head your butt over to South Beach or do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to kill some time. Okay, so things to do in Miami.
If you're coming in the day before,
or
if you do have this morning open, but probably
or
not
post.
So much the morning. Yeah, post too. Yeah,
or post. Yeah, you know what? Because we'll get there. That was me being like, oh, wait. Okay, so obviously we talked about Bayside Marketplace with the restaurants and Black Market. So Brickell is a really, really nice area, not too far from that port area that we just kind of talked about. And I don't even know if that has a true name, what we've been talking about, because Brickell does, and it's literally right next door. But I want to say that it probably is a divider. There's like a little, I don't want to call it a river, but like maybe like some water, just a waterway that goes in between the two sections. And I want to say that's where Brickell starts once you go over that bridge. Don't quote me on that, not a Miami connoisseur, but I feel like that's where Brickell starts. So one night we went to Brickell before the girls' cruise, right?
Yes.
And had the best time ever.
It was so amazing. It's like an upscale shopping mall. But there's plenty of restaurants, and there's even a couple things to even do in there. So we ate at the Henry.
The Henry, which, I was considering going tonight. Actually, I was going to take Dave there. I'd be like, just drop our bags off and we'll head back to the Henry.
It was amazing. Food, service, everything, atmosphere. I loved the Henry.
I did. I loved it too. I thought the food was good. Really
amazing.
Good. Yeah. I agree. And it was empty that night. I have a feeling, though, the Henry isn't always empty, but it was a Monday night, which is what tonight is, actually. It was a Monday night, so I have a feeling that, there was still hungover or whatnot from the weekend. No one was ready to party yet. But yeah, the Henry was great. And in that shopping mall, it was like a many-story shopping mall, and
outdoor shopping mall.
Yeah, they had a ton of different shops and whatnot, upscale and average shops, I would say. So like there was a MAC makeup in there. I want to say there was another Vicky's, but then there was Gucci. There was all kinds of stuff. So again, if you were missing something or wanted to do some Miami shopping, that is a great place. I think Brickell was amazing. Yeah. We talk about doing that all the time. The other cool thing we fell upon in Brickell was
mini golf, indoor mini golf, and it was super cool. It was like tech savvy indoors, cool atmosphere. So
yeah, it was super fun. We just had a drink there.
Yeah.
And there's a beautiful, I don't want to say an outdoor bar, but there was like an outdoor seating area that you could grab a drink and sit out there and just watch the city.
There was a great view of the city.
Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. I actually love that city. I say that all the time, probably because I don't live there. I'm sure that if I talk to somebody that lives there, they'd be like, "Oh," but I do love the city. I just think it's very pretty. It's not large. It's not enormous.
Yeah,
you're not swallowed up by it, and I just think it's gorgeous. So one of my favorite. I say this all the time, but we're going to go back to it. One of my favorite sides of the ship is actually side A, port side, because it faces when the ship is docked. Either one of the lady ships are docked at the port in the terminal. Side A faces Miami.
Yeah.
While you're not there very long, it's still very pretty to see because there's really not much. I mean, the terminal side is nice, and it shows all the ships depending on where you are. On the ship, I guess. If you're on the front of the ship, you can see all the other ships docked, in the ports. But I just love that view of Miami. So it's my favorite side of the ship.
Agreed. And at the end of the cruise, you wake up and you see beautiful Miami off your balcony.
Exactly. So it's very rare, too, that, people love the port side. That's like a huge thing.
Yeah, but you're not really at the port side.
No. And that's the other thing people don't understand, that they're like, I have to be on the port side because someone told me that the ship always docks on the port side. I was like, yeah, that's not
it
true
switches
anymore.
around. I don't know the rhyme or reason to it, but they do switch around randomly.
It is. But I think back in the day, that's probably the truth. Like that's why it was named port side, right?
Yeah.
So the captain knew. Dock the ship where the door is. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's what he does. But I'm sure that was probably a thing. Yeah. But now with the new technology, I mean, they dock these ships backwards, forwards, sideways. I mean, at one point you're moving sideways. You're like, what? How does the ship move sideways? I don't understand. So, now it doesn't matter. So while everyone is super like, I got to be on the port side because that's the side we're going to dock on, that is not the case anymore. So it's probably, either side's going to be great. But I do love just in Miami because of the fact that it's just that beautiful view. And if you weren't interested in going to the sail away party and you just wanted to sail away on your balcony all by yourself or whoever you're with, whoever your shipmate is, it'd be a great view. But then you'd be also missing a fabulous party.
Best sail away party at
the best
sea.
Yeah, exactly. That would be amazing. So, okay, back to, I don't even know how we totally segued or not segued. We went like this, just totally went off the course. Strayed the course, actually. And then, so Brickell City Center is amazing, like we said. And then the other thing that I mentioned earlier would be South Beach, to just go check it out. I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of South Beach. I haven't been in years. I've got to be honest, because the couple times that I did go, I didn't love it to begin with. So I'm not sure that I have any interest in going to South Beach at all. But I feel like if you haven't been, you should 100% see it and judge for yourself what you think. Because I'm sure there's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's very interesting. People watching and all the things. Yeah. So, and it's not as, I don't know. I guess I should go again. Next time we go, that's going to be on our list to just see what it's like.
You should go tonight. You'll be there.
Oh, God. Could you imagine me getting Dave? Dave, we're going to South Beach. He'd be like this. No. Is it on this bed in whatever our room number is in the Intercontinental? Then no, I'm not going. I'll be like, no, let's go see it. That's my husband for you. So anyways, after the cruise, post cruise. So most people, of course, get off. Actually, let's talk about debarkation really quickly. I know that we're adding that into this, but we can't say it enough. So Virgin does not kick you off the ship because I keep seeing people just traipsing around with their luggage. I'm like, what are you doing? This isn't royal. This isn't celebrity. This isn't NCL. Leave your luggage in your room.
It's so nice.
And go enjoy your breakfast. Don't schlep your luggage around. That's so nice. That's one of the reasons why I love it.
Yeah, and you don't have to wake up early. Like on the other cruise lines, I'm up at 6 a.m. I'm
Yeah,
like, I got to be out of my room by
They're like,
7.
Yeah. They're like, hello? Are you out yet? I can't tell you how many times on my last royal cruise that the lady was like, are you leaving? And I was like, okay, listen, you have 20 other rooms that have been out of their room. Go work on those. Why does it matter that I'm out of mine? It's not like I was the only one that she needed to work on and I was the only one leaving and she needed my room. Like, go work on the rest of them. Ay. Anyways, so in Virgin, they don't kick you out of your room, so you can stay there as long as you want till you're ready to go. So it's nice, leisurely morning, so you can party. That's one of the things I do love about it is that you don't feel like you have to go to bed early, although it does happen. Yeah. The ship clears out every night the night before, and people do go to bed early, which is kind of wah, but I get it.
Yeah.
So you can totally sleep in. You can go eat breakfast. You can even pack. So I used to pack the night before, but I don't anymore. I totally pack that morning, which is lovely.
It is.
And then we go at breakfast, and then we mosey our way off there. We schlep our luggage off. But you don't have to be off the ship until 10:30. Although I will tell you, please, you guys, be mindful of that 10:30. I just did a back-to-back a couple weeks ago, and we waited forever for the ship to clear. If it's 10:30, get your ass off the ship. Like, don't wait around because it messes up with everything else. So get off the ship. And you're supposed to be off by 10:30. So start at 10. I don't know. Whatever it may be. Get off the ship. But we did a back-to-back a couple weeks ago, and we were supposed to meet downstairs at 10:30. And what happens in the back-to-back is that when they clear it, so everyone that needs to be off the ship is off the ship, they then let us off the ship. It took us till, I don't even know, 11:15. It was 45 minutes afterwards that the final person finally walked off. So I mean, listen, I don't know what happened to that person. It could be, maybe they're sick. Who knows? I don't know. But it was very inconvenient for the rest of us because we had a lot of things to do, and everyone that was with us was like, come on. So just make sure you're mindful of that and get off the ship at 10:30. But majority of the people tend to leave about 9:30.
Yeah.
So be aware of that if you're getting off at that time and you need to be somewhere, it's going to be a little heavy in traffic in that sense. So you might be waiting in a line. Excuse me. So you can debark at those times. What else am I missing about debarkation?
How early would you fly home? People ask that all
people
the time.
do ask that all the time. So for me, I always tell my clients that if you want to get up and off the ship, then I would say do not schedule a flight earlier than 11 a.m. 10:30 is pushing it, but 11 a.m. I think is really safe. But you still have to be, in my opinion, like some of the first people off. So the ship will dock at 6:30, but they're not going to let you off the ship. And it has a lot to do with customs, not because we docked and something's happening. It has a lot to do with when the customs show up, when they clear the ship. But normally they let you off at 7:30. So that's like usually the doors open and you're free to go at that point. Provided nothing goes wrong. There isn't a big random storm that keeps you floating out in 22-foot waves. I always exaggerate that. It wasn't at that point. But that, pulls you into port at 11 a.m. So that happened to me a couple months ago where we were supposed to be in port, obviously at 6 a.m. We didn't get into port till noon, actually. So a lot of people missed their flights and stuff. And that's, unforeseen circumstances. There's nothing we could do about that. Nothing they could do about that either. The port wasn't open. It closed. Yeah. So just know that 11 a.m. is a great time, but things can happen. the port can close, and that's what happened. So, and again, not Virgin's fault in any way, shape, or form, or any of the other cruise lines that were affected by it. So, I say 11 a.m. is safest because it gets you off the ship at 7:30, and then you get yourself there, and everything will be good there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then once you get off the ship, it's super easy. They have I call them the bloop bloop technology, where they take a picture of your face. It's like bloop bloop, and then it tells you to go. Which is nice. So if you have a passport, that's good. But if you're using a birth certificate, you do get bloop bloop still, but then they take you to customs and they kind of look at all your documents and then send you on your merry way, basically.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything about getting off the ship?
I think you covered a lot.
Okay.
They do offer excursions if you do have a late flight.
I don't know too much about the excursions. I know that some of them used to be really, really cool. I haven't looked at them, honestly, in a long time, but
they are there.
They are there, and they will hold your
something.
luggage if you do that, which I think is cool. So if you want to, if you have a later flight, because that was the cheaper price, which I totally get, do an excursion, which would be great. The other thing that you can do if you have a later flight is do a day pass at a hotel, which would be amazing. You can go, and they'll hold your luggage, obviously, at concierge at the hotel, and then you can hang out at the pool there, or sometimes they'll give you a room with it, half a day room, which would be amazing, and you could just hang out and do what you need to do there.
Yeah.
Hang out at the pool or work, whatever. There's also, Josh found something.
Yeah. On our last cruise last week, I was looking at the app. They were like, oh, you're leaving.
But you're leaving. Bye-bye.
There was this ad for this luggage storage. It's called Bounce Luggage, and they might have a deal because they were promoting them. I didn't look into it, so I don't know the pricing or the deal. But in the Virgin app, they were promoting this third-party luggage storage. It's called Bounce. So yeah, if you want to drop your luggage with this company and then you can go explore the city on your own, that is also an option. So there's plenty of places to hold your luggage if you want to go see the city after the cruise.
Yeah, because the airports won't take it that early either. No. And honestly, you don't want to drive that way. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The airport's like 20 minutes from there. And sometimes it's trafficy. Because we flew home. Shoot, I'm trying to think when we flew home from a cruise. And it took us a little bit longer than I thought to get to the airport. Yeah. I was actually shocked. We flew home a couple cruises ago. I can't remember now. But anyways, it still took us a little bit. It was 20 minutes. So know that. It's not far. The airport's not far. And if you fly in, and also Fort Lauderdale is also, so if it's cheaper, we didn't talk about this earlier. If it's cheaper to fly into Fort Lauderdale from wherever you live, Fort Lauderdale is actually very close. So it's probably a 30-minute drive, depending on traffic, 30 to 45 minutes, again, depending on traffic. But know that that's a good option there if you need to, with flight prices being as crazy as they are recently. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we missed anything.
I think we got it. So if you're going on a Virgin Voyages cruise, you should be able to figure it out before and after your cruise now.
Yeah, now you got all the scoop. We've told you everything. So let us know if you need anything. Let us know if you have any questions. I am Samantha from Fabulous Adventures Travel Company, and this is my fabulous assistant, which some of you have probably spoken to, Josh, and we love to help you guys. So thank you for everything. Follow me on Facebook, which is Samantha-Fabulous Adventures Travel, and also Instagram, which is Samantha Travels. And then, and join us in the Facebook group, which is Virgin Voyages Cruise Tips and Deals.
Yeah.
Right? You want to tell them yours again?
Yeah, I guess if you want to, you can follow me on TikTok, Josh Cruises. I have plenty of Virgin Voyages videos.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what those look like. I haven't even looked at them. I hardly ever go on TikTok. Every now and then I'll make a TikTok video, and I always feel like I'm like the worst TikToker on the planet, because I literally will make a video and people will comment or like it, and I won't even bother. It's too much social media, honestly. I really focus on Facebook. I feel like that's, where my life is right now, and I just don't even know that I can add TikTok to it. And I just can't even. So anyways, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again, and we'll leave you with our favorite phrase, which is,
you float our boat.
So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye.